Buongiorno, everybody. Happy Friday? It's Friday, isn't it? Okay, well, so today I have a friend with me. This is Abby.
Hi.
And she's one of Angelina's roommates. Angelina's not here, but Abby came to see me because she loves me, right?
Yeah.
And she likes to be with me because I give her a hard time about eating. Because, you know, we eat all kind of crazy stuff. And Abby is kind of...
I'm a picky eater.
Okay, kind of a picky eater. I was going to say she has a discerning palate. But anyway, I want to start the day off by sharing with you my favorite weed. Don't laugh. Okay, dandelions. Some see a weed, some see a wish. You see, everything in life is about perspective and what you look at it. And we all know that I prefer to have dandelions in my backyard that aren't sprayed so I can pick them and eat them than putting stuff on them to make them go away and just have a boring green lawn. So anyway, put the apron on because we all know I make a mess. And we will get started. We're making something today that we are hoping Abby will eat. We're teaching her some new ways to like vegetables. So everybody's got somebody like that in their family. It's not unusual. You know, she's not out of the ordinary. She's actually, there are so many people that I have taught cooking to over the years that don't like this and don't like that. So really quickly, I'm going to go over a couple things I've told her and I share with other people. When you're trying something you don't like, or I should say, when you're trying something you think you don't like. Because oftentimes people say, I haven't liked that since I was a kid. But more than likely, if you didn't like it when you were a kid, you probably kept telling yourself that all these years and you have not tried it since you were a kid. So to say you still don't like it today is completely unfair to yourself. So first of all, keep trying things because as I told my kids when they were little, just like your muscles grow, so do your taste buds. And something you didn't like yesterday, you might actually like today. One other tip, when you try something new or you try something you think you don't like, don't hold your breath. Because when you hold your breath, you're not smelling. When you don't smell, you can't taste. So therefore, anything you put in your mouth, you have just closed off your sensory things and you can't taste it. So then it just tastes like cardboard, which means it does taste bad, exactly like you thought it would. So you have to allow yourself to taste it. So breathe when you try something new. So anyway, today we are going to make a crumble, but it's actually going to be a savory crumble. So it's going to be a vegetable mixture with, we're going to do cauliflower and kale. We're going to throw some onions in. And we are going to put like a savory crumble topping. So it's going to have, what we're going to use today, we're going to use some almond flour. So for anybody that's gluten-free, you can totally do this. But you can do it with regular flour if you don't have almond flour. So we're going to do almond flour and cheese and butter and crumble it on top and bake it. Oops, my cheese just popped. And we're going to bake it and it's going to be really yummy. Okay. Let's see if it does it again because I just pushed it down. Okay, we're having fun in the kitchen today. All right, so I'm going to put my scale on here. And actually, you know what we're going to do? We're going to start our onion because a lot of times when you put onions in something baked, do you ever baked anything with onions in it? Mm-hmm. Yeah. A lot of times what happens is that they bake, but they don't really cook like yummy like, and sometimes they're too crunchy. And for somebody who maybe doesn't like onions or doesn't like the crunch or the pepperiness of an onion, may not like it. The best way to do an onion is to saute it first before you mix it in with stuff and you kind of caramelize it and make it sweeter. So we're gonna do that. So we're not gonna totally dice this because I want it to have a little bit of, so we're just gonna cut it instead of dice like, you know, normally I would go like all the way around. Mm-hmm. So I'm just gonna do like 4 slices. And then from there, we're just going to cut it into pieces like this. And you hold the end and then that's it. Okay, I'm gonna turn this to low. And I'm gonna go ahead and start throwing these. Yes, throw those in. We're going to let those caramelize. We're gonna let them soften up. And Abby, you can kind of, if they're not bothering you too much, then we can just let them go. All right, now we're gonna make our crumble real quick. So my recipe should fit this bowl here. So this is a nice, Oven's ready. So this is my oval baker, which I love. So we're gonna make our vegetables in there. So our crumble, to start with, calls for 80 grams of flour. You know, it's an Italian recipe, you know how I am. All right, let's see how much half a cup weighs. That's only, okay, so it's gonna be about a cup of the, let's see. You know, we're gonna throw in a little bit more. We're making it 100, just because. But the actual recipe is 80 grams, it's about a cup. I threw in a little extra because I want to make, I think this is, I love crumble topping in any way, shape, or form. So anyway, so we're gonna throw that in. Now we're gonna do, let's see. It says just 3 tablespoons, so we're just gonna, actually, we don't have to weigh this. We're gonna 1, 2, 3 of either Parmesan or Romano. You know, cheese, you can never have too much of that. Right, Abby? Abby loves cheese. Do you like cheese? Yeah. She says she's a cheese connoisseur of every kind of cheddar. and Parmesan. That's something you like, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Most cheeses.
Most cheeses.
Yeah.
And we're going to put a pinch of salt in. We're not really going to put too much. Just a little pinches. And we're going to put in a little black pepper, just because I like black pepper. And then, so we're going to get these things out of the way. The last thing is the butter. Because you know how you make a regular, like a sweet crumble? Usually it's got, you know, flour and sugar and all that other stuff in it. But this is going to have this stuff with cheese. It's going to be cheesy. But we're going to put, you got to put butter in it. Now, supposedly, it calls for 70 grams of butter. This is 113, so it's about 3/4 of this. We're just gonna say guesstimate it. So about 3/4 of a stick of butter. You know, cut it in half, even quarter it like this, and then just cut it into these little pieces. And even though they're stuck together, they break apart in here so much easier. Do you want to get your hands dirty? Mm-hmm. All right, so this is what you do. All you do is you're just basically getting each little piece of butter floured up, and then you're gonna smush it until it's, you know, the whole thing is kind of crumbly.
Okay.
Okay, so you do that. All right, so these red onions here are nice and kind of softened. So we're gonna actually turn this off now. They might cook a little bit more in here. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna trade places, and here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna work right here, and I'm gonna cut up vegetables. So now we're just going to get our veggies ready. So these are already washed. So usually I like to break them in here so that they're kind of like solid heads, but back up again. But I don't want them to be too big. So I'm going to break up the pieces because I want the cheesiness and the crumbliness in it, you know, to. Now, if you got a nice piece of stem here, I'm going to cut it off, but what I'm going to do afterwards is cut it into pieces because I don't waste stems. Stems are yummy. So, like this. Now, some people would say, oh, you can't put a leafy green in there. It's too leafy. But you can. You can put anything in anything. And we already know that Abby likes cauliflower, right? And we already know that she has had kale with Angelina and actually has learned that she likes it, right? You can see how you want to be able to, exactly this. You want it to stick together. We're going to, because then we're going to crumble it up, so that's perfect. Because you want the butter to be throughout. So hold up a piece of that and show how sticky it is. So see, as long as it can stick together, that's a beautiful. That's a bella nice, as we say. Okay, go ahead, wash your hands. So I'm just going to take the very bottoms of the ends off because they're a little, And I'm just going to cut these in maybe, not even inch, maybe a little 3/4 inch slices because I don't want them to be too big. And I kind of always just give it one down the long way. All right, so I've got all this nice kale. We're just going to throw this. Would you grab that olive oil that's right behind you? Mm-hmm. All right, so,
this one?
Yeah. Like, for example, in the original recipe, it didn't tell me to do this stuff, but see. And it didn't even have these same vegetables. It did have cauliflower, but it didn't have anything else. So you want to drizzle some of that on top. And then, actually, I'm going to dry my hand. Just go across and just, yeah. Perfect. Now we're going to put a little bit of a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, and you know, grab that grated cheese right there and open it up and just sprinkle some on top. We're gonna throw a little bit of the cheese on the inside. There you go, just, yeah, you can. Perfect, some more. Okay, let's see, hang tight. Let me see how this looks. So we're just kind of massaging the oil in here, getting it all nice and mixing up the cauliflower and the kale. I think this is gonna be beautiful. I think that's actually probably pretty good. Yeah, I can smell it. All right. Well, now, can you just like lean it over the pan? There we go. Yeah, see now it's gonna rip. Now I can smell all the beautiful flavors. Okay, you can just set that there. Okay, so once again, it's hot, but that's okay. I'm gonna just kind of, my iron hands, we're gonna massage this in, get them all mixed around. Whew, that was a hot piece. All right, let me rinse. Actually, no. We're gonna take this now, and we're just going to, actually, I wonder if that's even enough. You know what, grab that flour. Let's throw a little teeny bit more in. Because, you know, I probably put in a little more butter. Got like a good handful. All right, that's good. Just want to make it a little, so I want to have some crumble. So we're going to take this and we're just going to, you want to help me? So we're just going to kind of crumble it up in little pieces all over the top. Okay, let's see what we can do. And here we go. Cauliflower, kale, and some caramelized onions. Would you do me the kind favor opening the oven? Just be careful because it like comes out like a whoosh of heat. Okay, thank you. Whew. So I've got that on a 400-degree oven because I want it to cook and I want it to crisp, and my oven is always, so I would say if you have a good oven that you know how it works, I would say probably 375, and it would probably stay in there for a good, I'm gonna say 35, 40 minutes. Of course, we're not doing that right now. You're gonna see the end picture at the end when I do this. When I pull it out, I will take some pictures, but I will show you then. But this is really gonna be something yummy that later on, maybe we'll even let Abby taste it on camera. And if she likes it, I'll show you, and if she doesn't like you, I won't. So in the meantime, today, as you look out your window and you see dandelions, remember that those are wishes and not weeds. And if you take everything in life and look at it that way, kale or cauliflower or purple onions or whatever, look at it for what it can be and not necessarily for what you think it is. Because, you know, life is too short and we really need to make sure that we remember that there's still wishes out there. All right, so I hope you guys all have a wonderful day. Make something nice to bring to your table. If you get a chance, make a dessert, keep them there a little longer. And don't forget, please, to subscribe to my Dorina's Kitchen YouTube channel. I really want to up the ante there. As well as please share these videos with your friends or on your own personal pages. I really appreciate it when you do that. I don't know, I don't know what it's going to help me do eventually. Maybe someday it's going to help me do something, but I figure the more recognition we get here on Dorina's Kitchen, sharing the back to the table movement and reviving the Rosetta effect, the more people we can help in this world. So thank you all. I love you. Mwah. Ciao.